So, what made you choose High Fidelity for the Turbine's first musical?
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because the first musical is a massive deal for a new space. I've listened to the soundtrack for years and years, and I've always loved the soundtrack. And I was curious as to why it didn't run for longer than it ran on Broadway. And as I said earlier, I think climate and geography and timing is a really sensitive part of the musical process, and can be a factor in whether it works or not. And I looked at the reviews, and most of them commented on it felt a bit masculine. And part of me was just thinking, how do I take that and bring it into our 2019 lens after, the Me Too movement? And so I thought it was really, really important that we brought a female writer on board to relocate it back to its London roots, which the Nick Hornby book is obviously based on. And I just love Vicky Stone. I think she's one of the wittiest, smartest British voices we have, and her ability to give characters humility and to make them fun and make them real is second to none. And I approached her about 6 weeks ago, and here we are, final week of rehearsals, and she reread the novel and she just fell in love with it like I did. And I think, we're so lucky to have this. We've got 11 people in this cast, and they're really, really going to work for their supper. And we're so lucky that audiences are going to get the opportunity to see them close up at the top of their game.
And in terms of programming for the Turbine, how do musicals fit into your general idea?
Well, the programming structure will be really straightforward, because I sometimes think when you overcomplicate it, that's normally for you. From an outside point of view, we just want people to know very clearly what it is. And so I broke it down into 3 strands. The first strand is the generation of new work, which I would do via MT Fest, which is a musical theatre festival that I created, whereby we choose the best new musicals from around the world. And new is kind of in brackets. That could mean it's a commission whereby I've put the writing team together, or it could have had a life and this is a different version of the show. And hopefully I will find shows from that then filter down into world premieres of that work. And then the final strand is revivals, but done in an interesting way with interesting creatives or perhaps actors that you wouldn't traditionally associate with that genre. And to begin with, we might end up doing more revivals whilst we're just learning who our audience is, where they're coming from. And that's what's fun about the kind of beginnings of a new venue. We're learning a huge amount, and there's been such a generosity of spirit, goodwill from it's very loud down here, and goodwill from the industry. So, and that's a responsibility that I don't take lightly, and feels really, really empowering as we move into our first year at the Turbine.
And obviously, because you started with Talk Song, it's a really nice piece of work, but how do you see the split between musicals and non-musicals going?
Well, I wanted to open with a play because in most cases, don't ever quote me for saying this, but a play is just easier because there are less complicated factors around it in terms of sound, and normally there's less costumes. And I think it was a nice way to warm up the venue. So for the second show I knew it had to be a musical because we had to know what it was like to have amplified sound in there. We're going to rock this tunnel. We've got an incredible rock band joining us, but hopefully 50-50. But to be honest, for the first year, I think whilst you're trying to find out who you are and who you're making work for and who's coming, we're just going to try lots of different things and hope that our audience joins us on that journey. And the Battersea Power Station as a kind of development project is incredible. They've spent some serious money and some love and care on the whole development. There's 7 phases and they're only on phase 2. And already at the moment it's buzzing, it's exciting, and they've really spent lots of time creating this kind of urban village, which has been brilliant.